Hi everyone, my name is Richard Santoro and I welcome you to Third and Zen, the YouTube channel where every week I'm sharing a spiritual message to nourish ourselves, heart, mind, body, and soul. First, thanks for stopping by the channel. Thanks for checking out today's video. I do hope that this video finds you doing well. I hope you're taking the time, the love, the energy, the effort, the space to care for yourself, heart, mind, body, and soul. And maybe along the journey we're taking some time to care for one another as best we can. With that being said, let's just all take a nice deep breath. I'm gonna move out of the way a little bit, let you have some ocean sound in view. Just take a moment and be still. Allow yourself to just be present. Allow yourself to just breathe. And let's get started with today's message, shall we? So I was here on this beautiful winter day. It's quiet, it's chill, it's very calm. It's cool, but not too cold. The sun's out. And I'm walking and I'm thinking, I am so lucky to be able to do this. Like, it's almost like I don't deserve it. How blessed am I to be here in this moment? And it made me think, recently, I asked a couple of loved ones via text, just having some conversations, asking people, what are on your Mount Rushmore of your favorite hymns? What hymns do you absolutely love? And it was cool, the diversity in the answers. There were a couple that were on everybody's, and one that made me think of when I was out here was Amazing Grace. And just a few things I want to say about that. One, it goes back to what I started saying, that, I'm so lucky, so blessed to be here in this moment right now. And it's God's grace. It's the grace of God that it's such a gift. My brother and sister and I have been, doing this Bible study, and we've been chatting about our spiritual journey. And I was so blessed that my brother and sister, in one of the Bible studies, we really got sidetracked in a beautiful way about God's grace. And the two of them, in such a wonderful iron sharpens iron way, were discussing God's grace and the nuance of it. And in such a microscopic way, there was a difference in what they were saying where they just couldn't agree. But in the end, it was just listening to them talk about it really was such a reminder. And I think it was a message that I needed to hear, that all of this, everything in my journey, everything in my life, and is all just the benefit of God's grace. No merit of mine. It's just the gift of God's grace given to me freely, given to all of us freely. And the hymn Amazing Grace, as I was walking here on the beach, I was remembering a YouTube video that I saw that many of you may have seen or may not, and I'll share a link. Andrea Bocelli, during early on in the pandemic, during the lockdown, in the square in Milan where the wonderful cathedral Il Duomo is, he was there, and Andrea Bocelli is just, it was Andrea Bocelli. And he was singing Amazing Grace. And this video is just so beautiful. And people are often moved to tears by the hymn. It's really one of these foundational hymns. And people sometimes connect it with passing of loved ones, funerals that they've been to, because it is often played at funerals. But just in general, this hymn is so beautiful, so foundational. And to hear this voice, this beautiful voice, this angelic, just, unparalleled voice of Andrea Bocelli singing this, it'll move one to tears. It really moved me to tears. And I shared it with one of my beautiful best friends. And he pointed something out that was so obvious. And as you'll see in a moment, no pun intended, I just didn't see it. That, here's Andrea Bocelli, this man who's blind, singing this hymn. And with the lyric, I was once blind, but now I see. And I was just like, how did I not notice that? How did I not see that? It took somebody to point that out to me. I was so lost in the hymn and the beauty of the atmosphere where he was singing and this wonderful hymn with this wonderful voice. And I didn't realize that. And I guess that is where I want to land right now, is that sometimes we're blind and we don't see. Sometimes I am blind and I don't recognize God's grace around me. The chaos, the everything of life, and sometimes our own self-centeredness, narcissism, and I don't mean that in a really, really derogatory way. I mean that sometimes we're preoccupied with ourselves and with our lives around us. Sometimes I am, where I don't realize that all things are at the benefit and the privilege of the grace of God. Sometimes I need my brother and sister to do a 15 to 20 minute iron sharpens iron debate about God's grace for me to really, really hear the message that it is all about God's grace. And sometimes I need one of my best friends to point out, yeah, here's this blind individual singing this song about, I was once blind and now I see. So I guess I'm here to remind us of what I needed reminding of, or what I guess God felt that I needed reminding of. And that is the beauty of God's grace. And I think as we enter this Holy Week, as we enter this holiest time of year, that there's so much to be said, with Holy Week, with all the events, what it means, Holy Thursday, Maundy Thursday, with, Good Friday and the crucifixion, and then Holy Weekend, and then, of course, Easter Sunday. There's so much to be said. There's so much, obviously, so much fruit there with love and sacrifice and mercy and fellowship and all that it means. It means everything. Everything hinges on it. That let's maybe not lose the theme and the idea and the gift that is God's grace is all a part of that. And God's grace is all part of our lives. It's such a foundational part of, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful because I know that sometimes we look at ourselves and the world around us through the eyes of meritocracy, of what is it that's earned, earned and given, and rewards and things of that nature. But thankfully, we can lean into and be grateful for the grace of God that is giving us so much without us having earned it. And I'm really, really thankful for that. And I hope that in your journey going forward, during Holy Week and during every day, that there are moments of beauty and love that we are able to notice, that you were able to notice and say, by the grace of God, whether it's the beach or hearing the hymn Amazing Grace or the laughter and joy and fellowship of loved ones or healing or a nice breeze or a hymn or whatever it is, these moments in our lives where we see and recognize and feel the grace of God. And I hope that that is abundant for you in your journey going forward. Thanks be to God. Amen. Okay, my friends, once again, I want to thank you for being here. I hope you forgive me for wearing the sunglasses. It's just so bright, even with the sun at my back, that I just wanted to be able to focus on you and on this message. But anyway, I digress. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. I love you all. I wish you peace, love, and the grace of God as you go forward on your journey. Thanks be to God. I love you all. Have a good one. Ciao, ciao.